So when we last left off, Michael Hill was explaining why he didn't really want to deal with a woman with children, and if so, he let you know how young he wanted the child to be, let you know he didn't want a boss BI. So now we're going to continue to dig into this as we scrutinize this.
I dealt with a woman with a child, but the baby was she was the little girl was young. She was number like maybe a year old. If I can be able to actually help her rate, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. But if I have my preference, no kids.
I totally understand what he's saying. And this is why I continue to tell people that they really need to dig into their Bibles. For the most part, with the things that a lot of people are doing today, choosing, the go the way they want to go, to do as thou wilt, to do as they want to do, to abuse liberty, you know, it's funny how individuals cherry pick the scriptures and ultimately they live the way they want to live and quote out that I have free will. Yes, and you can also, because the Most High is a gentleman, you can abuse your free will. And ultimately, as you're abusing it, the whole point is to show who you are, to expose who you really are, for your heart to be exposed. And your maturity is going to be exposed as well. Because as I tell people all the time, the way you got graded in school, it's the way you get graded in life. And when you are able to see that you are operating as an F student or as a C student, as a D student, if you're mature enough, you will be honest with yourself and say, I am the problem. And you'll fix it. You'll look in the mirror and fix it. You don't have time to point at this and that and, oh, I was a perfect wife. I didn't do nothing. After you get through, pointing at that man so long, it gets to a certain point where you're doing things and you have a certain activity in your life where you can no longer point at that person because that person ain't in the room when you riding on penis. That person ain't around when you're being a liar and a manipulator and doing whatever you want. As you continue to get exposed and that person continues to grow and grow more and more away from you, you can't point at them anymore. What's the excuse for your life now? And so I totally understand what he's saying. That when you walk into a ready-made situation, you don't want to deal with children who have grown to be preteens and young adults and especially you got boys out here and they are so loyal to their mother and different things like that. I've heard of stories where boys, ended up beating up on boyfriends as well as husbands, and it was not justified. So when it comes down to it, toxicity is going to breed and spread into its own students. So if you got a ready-made situation that you're walking in, a woman got two, three, four, five children, and got different baby fathers and all this other stuff, and you're talking about a situation that you're going to be an addition to. They already got a system, and in that type of thing, that's where you come across masculinity in a woman because she's used to her way and she's going to have a hard time relinquishing her way. You know how many people fight over different things in their home from the way that man might not agree that his woman is dressing? She could have an issue with attention and he does not like the way she's dressing for other people outside of the house that ain't him. A woman could decide out the blue, I want a tattoo. That'll be an argument. She could decide she want to do whatever the heck she want to do with the children. That could be an argument. And so when there's things that are set and folk are set in their ways and they got a program, it's already chaos. It's already an issue. It's already division. And a real masculine man, a real Christ man, he's going to command his presence. He's going to command his room. He's going to take over his classroom and he's going to be the rabbi, masters, teacher, pastor, priest that he's supposed to be. They want students. They want disciples. Christ chose disciples. If we're supposed to be like Christ, that means that once knowledge is full in us, we want our disciples. So we're going to choose them starting with our wife because there's a passion in us. And the reason why these bras can't understand that and they still want to try to bamboozle you into their program is because they want to simp. They want you to do what they want you to do. They don't want to be a student, let alone an A student. They want to be the one that run the class, and that's just not how you to get a degree, let alone an A.
Okay. So she's not paying for the bills basically in the house.
No, I'm gonna do that.
You're
That's
gonna okay.
that's my responsibility. I mean, I'm a man. I can't. I never. I don't even know what it would feel like to even have a woman sit up here and try to give me some money for something that I know that we both live in. That's not being manly to me. Now, I ain't saying nothing wrong being 50-50 of that, but me personally, I couldn't do it.
It's not about as much as not being able to do it or not 50-50 or whatever the case may be. It's about being able to maintain what's yours. And you start off single. And yes, the things that you want to see in a single woman, you should see. The things that someone sees in a single man, they should see. And the trust begins that way. And so when it all comes down to it, equity is built between the two. The man does provide, protect, and he continues to take over from where the father left off. That's why the father passes the daughter out of his hands into the next father's hands. And so when it comes down to it, a woman is supposed to hold a man up. That's what she's there for. She's to hold him up, sustain him. So if he has any issue, that's where her funds come in at if she's making any extra money.
Okay. I know you lost your wife to a tragic accident. How long was you married for?
5 years.
Right. Okay. So Marcus, does the woman have to look
Again, here she's about to come with this, asking the same question she's been asking the whole time. Can't remember nothing. If you go try to be Kevin, at least had a memory he had. Can't remember the man's name, can't remember what he did, can't remember what he done told you over and over and over again. Doggone.
certain way?
Michael.
I mean, I keep saying Marcus. I apologize. Michael. That's my fault. My fault.
Be fit. I like somebody that's fit. I don't like uh plus size. Man, you got to wear it well, but just plus size, pretty much.
Okay. You said no plus size.
No.
Okay. And you said you don't care about her money, right?
No, just as long as you have a car, man. As long as I have a car, I don't care if you work at Chick-fil-A. Just as long as you got a car, you take care of yourself. Like, that's about it. I don't care about the money part.
Now I want y'all to take a mental note of what he said about the car, and it doesn't matter where she works or what she has. He's going to point out some key things that Kevin would always say and some things that are facts. Also, you're gonna see some masculine, toxic female try to throw a comment up because she's in her feelings. And just watch how he stands his ground.
Do you want kids?
Of course I do.
Okay, he does want kids.
Yeah.
Are you willing? Is no kids a strong deal breaker for you?
Say it again.
A woman with kids, is that a strong deal breaker for you?
Like I said, the child has to be small. I mean, like, if we're going to do it for the long haul, the child got to be like 2 years old. I want to be able to help raise them too. I don't want to come into something that is already built. You feel what I'm saying?
So I don't know how many times and how many different ways he's got to articulate it, but this is what I was talking about. Jesus picked and he chose his disciples. He chose them. Brothers, if you want to be in the best advantageous situation when it comes down to building a family, teaching your family, therefore molding them to have the impression of you, the best thing you could do is grow close to God, find your purpose, and work your way to the need of a wife and go from there.
To I want to be able to actually build. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
Okay, shouts to Regina, who we host the show together, Social Society. She said, "Do you have a car?" Since you're requiring the woman to have a car.
Oh yeah, I got two.
You got two cars, Regina. Okay.
And they all foreigns.
And they're all foreigns. Okay, talk your talk, Michael.
Yes, talk your talk. He's been talking his talk the whole time. And that's how you handle a scallywag in her feelings broad who wants to belt out and shout out shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Some Kevin used to always harp. When they can't get you, when there's too much logic, when you got too much show, that shows who you are, too much great things going for yourself, they expose their scallywag ways. They got to throw out the sign. The shame, insult, guilt need to be right.
I'm actually about to leave out tonight and catch a flight. I'm thinking about going to well, I'm not thinking about, but I'm going to Puerto Rico for my birthday. So
We're going to continue to scrutinize this on part 3.